Have you ever faced a giant so big in your life that you couldn't see anything else? I have. I'm guessing you have. And if that's you, I guarantee you today's talk is gonna be amazing for you to listen, to reflect with. We're talking about the giants in your life, how to face them, overcome them, and see the opportunity on the other side. Hi, my name is Jake. I am the student pastor here at Eastlake Church, and we have an amazing service for you. We're gonna do some type of weird game, and then we're gonna go into an awesome message, and we're gonna reflect with an amazing song called There's Another in the Fire. I hope you enjoy.
What's up, guys? My name is Yasmin.
And my name is Nick.
And welcome to HSM
News.
We are your hosts to deliver the craziest news, challenges, and tea weekly. And this week, we are kicking it off with another challenge.
Oh, Yasmin, you don't wanna mess with this right now. You said challenge, and I see cups right here. So I don't know what we're gonna do, but
all I know is that I'm pretty competitive, so I'm ready to win. But before I win, let me describe the rules really quickly. So there's going to be 3 challenges that me and Nick are gonna complete, but we have to do them like back to back. So like no pausing in between, like we have to just knock them out. So the game that we are playing first is we are gonna line like 3 cups to the edge, and we're gonna flip all 3.
Okay.
Once all 3 are flipped,
then we gotta stack
we're
them.
gonna stack them.
Okay.
Stack them all crazy, and then once they are all stacked, let's just imagine we're gonna put all the cups together.
All the cups together, okay. And then
we're gonna stack the 6 cups.
stack 6, okay, 6.
Yep.
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness.
I'm like all clumsy.
Yasmin.
And then we are gonna blow a balloon. And then inside the cup and try to stack all 6, and whoever completes all 3 first wins the game.
All right, yo.
And you can play this game at home. All you need is like, we have like
Balloons
6 cups,
and red
6
cups.
cups.
Okay.
So 12 cups and 2 balloons.
All right, can I set up? Can I set up to beat you now?
No, you gotta have them stacked first, and then you do the 3.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, y'all
You
want
can't
me
be
to win?
cheating.
Let's go.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo, you gonna lose, Yasmin. All right, this is Starbucks. Whoever wins buys the other person Starbucks. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, ready? Wow, we are pros.
Okay,
at
we
this.
practiced this before, and let's just say.
We are pros at this. You can tell we never partied. Wait, we're tied. We're tied. Let's go.
Oh my
we're tied,
gosh.
Yasmin.
I'm like.
We're kind of tied. Oh, come on. I don't want to lose. Yes. There's 2. You have 2? You have 3? What the heck? Oh, I have 3 too. This is actually getting pretty close. Okay, there's the 3.
Oh my God, I think I'm broke.
I got it too.
I can't. I'm getting nervous.
I know, you're making me nervous. How did I just catch up to you? All right, here we go. I'm gonna make you laugh. Don't laugh. You gave me a dud balloon, because this thing is not working. Oh my goodness, I have a dud balloon. This is rigged. Wow.
All I'm gonna say is I'm a boss.
Look at this. This is rigged. This thing is broken.
No. You managed to get 4, so clearly it's not that broken.
All right.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week on HSM News. And don't forget that we have a TikTok account. You can follow us at students.united, and we will see you next week on HSM News. And guess what? We have a special guest joining us.
What?
So stay
Let's
tuned
go.
and enjoy the rest of the message.
Eliab was awoken in his army tent yet again. Almost every night this has been happening. The voice of Goliath, a giant, screaming out in the middle of the night, taunting them over and over and over again. It almost seems like Goliath was sitting there right next to him because his voice rings out through the valley. You have to ask the question, what the heck is King Saul going to do about it?
So last week, we left off on David just being anointed to be king of Israel. But Saul was still in power of Israel at the time. God wanted to wait patiently to King David. He wanted to show the nation why he deserved it. Now, let's dive into a story about a weak man taking on a giant. We are going to be jumping into 1 Samuel 17, and we will be reading out of the Message version of the Bible.
The Philistines drew up their troops for battle, okay? And this is like a picture-perfect war scene. I wish they had like the actual movie like developed today, because this scene was amazing. We have the Philistines lined up on one side of this valley, and on the other side were the Israelites and Saul and his army. And literally in between was this huge valley, man. It's like a big old half pipe, and everyone's just talking trash back and forth, and it's about to go down.
A giant nearly 10 feet tall stepped out from the Philistine line into the open. Goliath from Gath. He had a bronze helmet on his head and was dressed in armor. 126 pounds of it. He wore bronze shin guards and carried a bronze sword. His spear was like a fence rail. The spear tip alone weighed over 15 pounds.
Goliath stood there and called out to the Israelite troops, "Why bother using your whole army? Am I not Philistine enough for you? And you're all committed to Saul, aren't you? So pick your best fighter and pit him against me. If he gets the upper hand and kills me, the Philistines will all become your slaves. But if I get the upper hand and kill him, you'll all become our slaves and serve us. I challenge the troop of Israel this day. Give me a man. Let us fight it out together."
Let's paint a picture here. Two armies, one lined up on this side of the valley, one lined up on this side of the valley, and then out of the bad army, the Philistines, comes this 10-foot tall monster of a person coming out, and he's ready to start talking trash. That's all he did. He talked trash all day long, just like, "What's up? Send me your best soldier to a one-on-one fight, and we can end this right now." The thing about Goliath, though, was not only was he 10 feet tall, this guy wore 100 pounds of armor on his body. And then it was said that his spear, just the tip of his spear, was 15 pounds. So basically, this guy was ready to KO the whole entire Israelite army.
What is the Israelites' response? It's pretty simple. When Saul and his troops heard the Philistine challenge, they were terrified and lost all hope. But here's one important truth of this story before. Everyone sees the opposition, and only a few see the opportunity. I think that kind of applies to the way that we view life right now. Oftentimes, we see the big giant in our path, and we are so terrified. But we don't actually see what's beyond the giant in our path. But let me tell you, that is an opportunity to grow and express our faith in Jesus.
Let's continue the story. Each morning for 40 days, Goliath would get up there and give his speech, talking trash to the Israelites. And then finally, one day, Jesse told his son, David, this: "Take this sack of cracked wheat and these 10 loaves of bread and run them down to your brothers in the camp. And then take these 10 wedges of cheese to the captain of their division. Check in on your brothers to see whether they are getting along all right, and let me know how they're doing. Saul and your brothers and all the Israelites in the war with the Philistines in Oak Valley."
At this point, David goes to the army where all the tents are with his brothers and gives them food. But David's mad. I mean, he's so mad. He just can't believe that they're allowing this giant to taunt them over and over and over again. And he really wants to prove that God's faith is bigger than the biggest giant that anyone could ever offer. So he does something crazy. I mean, he goes to Saul and he says this. I want to read this to you. David said, "I've been a shepherd tending sheep for my father, and whenever a lion or bear came and took a lamb from the flock, I'd go after it, knock it down, and rescue the lamb. If it turned on me, I'd grab it by the throat, wring its neck, and kill it. Lion, bear, made no difference. I killed it. And I'll do the same to this Philistine pig who is taunting the troops of God alive. God, who delivered me from the teeth of the lion and the claws of the bear, will deliver me from this Philistine." Saul said, "Go and God help you."
Then Saul outfitted David as a soldier in armor. He put his bronze helmet on his head and belted his sword on him over the armor. David tried to walk, but he could hardly budge. David told Saul, "I can't even move with all this stuff on me. I'm not used to this." And he just took it all off. Then David took his shepherd's staff, selected 5 smooth stones from the brook, and put them in the pocket of his shepherd's pack, and with his sling in his hand, approached Goliath.
Here's another thing. When it comes to facing the giants in life, it's always best to go with the outfit that God has given you. God has given you a unique gift, a unique expression of who God has created you to be. Some of you guys are super creative. Some of you guys have tons of friends. Some of you guys can talk and have great relationships with your mentors. I know for me, growing up, one of the unique gifts that I think God gave me to face the giants in my life was this weird thing about joy. Like, I'm the guy that would wake up in the morning and I don't need coffee, I don't need sugar, I'm awake. Let's go run 10 miles because joy is something that I always kind of just naturally had. And that to me becomes an outfit against the giants of when maybe I'm going through a tough season of depression or anxiety, whatever it looks like for me or whatever it looks like for you. What is the unique gift that God's given you to face and fight against certain giants in your life?
As the Philistines paced back and forth, his shield bearer in front of him, he noticed David. He took one look down on him and sneered a mere youngster, an apple-cheeked and a peach-fuzzed. The Philistine ridiculed David. "Am I a dog that you come after me with a stick?" And he cursed him by his gods. "Come on," said the Philistine. "I'll make him roadkill of you for the buzzards. I'll turn you into a nasty morsel for the field mice."
David answered, "You come at me with the sword and spear and battle axe. I come at you in the name of God of the angel armies, the God of Israel troops, whom you curse and mock. This very day, God is handing you over to me. I'm about to kill you, cut off your head, and serve up your body and the bodies of your Philistine buddies to the crows and coyotes. The whole earth will know that there's an extraordinary God in Israel. And everyone gathered here will learn that God doesn't save by means of sword or spear. The battle belongs to God. He's handing you to us on a platter."
That roused the Philistine, and he started toward David. And David took off from the front line, running towards the Philistine. And David reached into his pocket for a stone, and he slung it, and he hit the Philistine hard in between the forehead, embedding the stone deeply into his head. And the Philistine crashed face down into the dirt. And that's how David beat the Philistine, with a sling and a stone. He hit him and killed him. No sword for David.
God uses David's experiences, his gifting, and most importantly, his faith to take down that giant. That is the kind of God we serve. Man, I feel so lucky to have a God in my life that loves me and wants to help me battle the giants in my life alongside me. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What are the giants in your life? What are you facing right now? I know right now during COVID, we are all struggling with something. Maybe it's not as extreme as others, but your giant is just as important to God as any other giant in other people's life. So I want to ask yourself, what is the opposition in your life that God wants to use to make an opportunity?
All of us have giants in our lives. Things that we look to and we're saying, that's a little too big to conquer. I can't get over that addiction. I can't do that. Or I can't get over how I don't love myself. I can't, that's too much of a big giant in my life. I can't do it. And when we come to these circumstances, when we literally feel like we're on fire, when we can't do anything, I want to let you know that through that, God's in the fire with you. God's in it with you. It's almost like you're looking at this giant in your life and you don't think you can overcome it, but then when God stands next to you, you realize, wait, maybe I can do this. We're about to sing a song called There's Another in the Fire, which is all about God's right there, right next to you as you're facing the giants, as you're going through the fire. I also want to say, if you feel like you're going through the fire right now, we have growth groups. I actually just talked to a student, who's a 10th grader, and he was struggling. He was going through a lot. And I actually bridged him to a growth group. And I went to that growth group just last night, and it was so cool to see the fact that he was there engaging with all the other guys. And I was realizing he's facing giants in his life, and thank God that he has other people to do it with. So as we sing this song, There's Another in the Fire, I want you to reflect. I want you to actually think about what it would look like if you joined a group with other people your age. And if you want to take that next step, I will personally reach out to you and get you into a group. You can text student groups to 67076 during this song if you want to take the next step in your faith and want to face the giants with your friends standing next to you.
There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the waters holding back the sea. And should I ever need a reminder of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden where another died for me. There is another in the fire. Oh, you bear my cross. All my dead left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to sin anymore. And should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire standing next to me. There is another in the waters holding back the sea. Should I ever need a reminding what power set me free, there is a grave that holds nobody, and now the power lives in me. There is another in the fire. Oh, 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 I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between wasted. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in, and nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. Oh, you're in the battle. There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come what may in the space between and the things unseen and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. No, yes, I know I will never be alone. There'll be another in the fire standing next to me. There'll be another in the waters holding back the sea. And should I ever need a reminding how good you've been to me, that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be.
Before we end, I do want to tell you that we actually have a TikTok account. I just downloaded TikTok. Don't worry, I'm not going to be running it. Yasmin does and will. I trust her way more than I trust myself. So it's students.united. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we'll have a bunch of amazing content there for you, even some of these talks. We also have tons of other talks right now that we would love if you wanted to watch. We have questions that we love answering, and I think you'll really enjoy these faith questions. Well, we'll see you in one of our other videos.